we've got quite a number of experience opportunities for our students to work with local companies, to work with local organisations and cultural groups, which we feel is a very distinctive aspect of our programme here. Through our connections with industry, we've got very good connections with companies like Solid State Logic and Dolby and Avid, who are very major global players in the wider media sense in the world. And our students work with them often on student placements. We have quite a number of graduates who are working with these companies also. One of the things that our students have done recently is to work with Solid State Logic on beta testing their prototype live mixing console, where we took a number of students to work at a festival during the summertime, and Solid State Logic loaned us 2 of their consoles to give them feedback on how it was working, on how their software and hardware systems held up in the field. We have some really good links with cultural organisations and music festivals within the greater Oxford area and throughout the UK also, which offer our students some unique opportunities for work experience, more so than just perhaps shadowing or trailing someone in a company for a couple of weeks. We actually get the students to be very much hands-on with all of the equipment and the systems that they'd be using professionally when they graduate. We have a placements administrator within our Department of Computing and Communications Technology, whose job is to work with the students to, to look after them during their placement year. But we also have extensive visits by our academics to the students who go on placement. We like to interview the students themselves. We like to interview the students' management team. We like to see what the students are actually doing when they go on placement. So it's very important for us to feel connected to the student and for the student to still feel as part of the university even though they might be on a placement. We feel that the suite of modules that we offer in the first and second year before a student goes on placement are ideally placed to give them a wide overview of their discipline, allowing them to perhaps explore some of the options for specialisation when they go on placement, and then to come back to us for their final year at university, and then to continue on with their specialisation. We've had a number of students who've gone on placement who, when they come back, they seem much more focused, they seem much more driven, and they have a definite idea of what they want to do as a career. Sometimes they follow the path they've taken for a placement, and sometimes they decide that that's actually not for them. But it's a really good learning experience overall for the students in general to take a placement if they can find one. We have quite a large number of academic staff here and also technical instructors here who have spent quite a lot of time in industry. I've spent 15 to 20 years working in music production, concert production, touring all over Europe, all over the USA with various artists and working for different record companies. But I've also had a very interesting parallel career in academia. We do some very extensive research work that's directly connected to industry. We have developed various algorithms for signal processing that have been used for all sorts of things, everything from surround sound to three-dimensional video and filmmaking. In fact, a number of academics have achieved some industry awards for their work in this area, which is quite nice. We have got a very grounded curriculum in that everything that we teach is directly related to what students will need to know when they graduate and start to work in the real world. And that, I think, comes from the extensive experience that the lecturers have in the real world. On the audio engineering and music production programme, we've had students who've been working as technical volunteers for the last number of years with a number of music festivals. These include the Oxford Folk Weekend, which is a folk music festival based in Oxford. We have been working with the Oxford Jazz Festival for 5 or 6 years now, supplying them with volunteer technicians. We work with a regular jazz music club in the city of Oxford, and we've also done some very interesting festival work further beyond, including music festivals up near Birmingham. We've had students who are actually working internationally in Wales, which I suppose is international, on different music festivals and music projects also. So the links that we have with these different organisations give our students huge opportunities to work in the real world. Generally, we tend to stick with styles of music and styles of events that will stretch our students, that will challenge them to perhaps expose them to music they may be not familiar with, to work with maybe world music, folk music, jazz music, which some students might not have come across before, especially working as audio engineers in this genre of music. And so we find that by having some guidance from the staff, but allowing the students to really do the majority of the work, it's massively beneficial for their learning experience overall. Our students from our audio programs have traditionally gone on to do a lot of different things. For example, we see that our students are going into everything from circuit design and software design, testing and validation for audio companies who are making mixing consoles, amplifiers, sound processing devices, all the way to doing sound for reality TV shows for some of the stuff that you've seen on telly. We've got students who are doing sound effects for film and TV. We've got students who are working in music production. We've got students who are working as sound engineers in some of the biggest studios in London. We have students, well, graduates I should say, who are working with some very big audio hardware and software companies also, both as circuit designers and as software designers, software programmers. We find that the students have quite a wide skill set when they graduate, and that means that depending on what their area of interest and specialization is, they can go into many areas, everything from the heavy duty engineering of audio equipment all the way to mixing music for an artist at a live concert and everything in between.